date of the birth of the sun god. Sun god, the sun has come back into its own. They celebrated Christmas. Birth of, not Jesus Christ, the birth of the sun god, Baal, Horus, Apollo, Astarte. All these were the sun gods worshipped in the Mediterranean region, and their birthday was the 25th of December. So when the people became Christianized under Constantine, they accepted that birthday of the sun as the birth of the Son of God, in inverted commas. So it is not the birthday of Jesus. The Quran tells us very, very clearly that when Jesus was born, his mother Mary was told, he says, shake the palm leaf, the leaf of the palm leaf, date palm, and it will let fall fresh ripe dates. Means the dates were ripe, ready. You just shake it and the thing will fall. And you can eat and refresh yourself with the rivulet, a small river running by, refresh yourself. After the birth of the child, she is told that. So it was midsummer. If the Quran says that the dates were ripe, it means midsummer, not midwinter. Palestine is in the northern hemisphere. Your winter and their winter is the same. So you don't have winter in midsummer, dates in midsummer. So it was midsummer. Then the Bible also says that when Jesus was born, the shepherds were out in the field. Now the shepherd is a fool. If he with his sheep stays out in the open in Palestine, in midwinter, he will freeze to death, and his sheep will freeze to death. So if you reason, the Quran and the Bible, they both confirm that Jesus was not born on the 25th of December in midwinter. But now because of that, men of learning in the West, they are now supposing that this Jesus was a myth, is a fairy tale, because it's connected with all these fairy tales. Jesus was no myth. He was a real historical person. According to the teachings of Islam, we have no doubt about it. That some 2,000 years ago, there was a young lady called Mary, and she gave birth to a child called Isa, or Esau, or Yeshua, translated Jesus, and he was born miraculously. But the myth idea is because of this association with the pagan cults, the sun-worshipping cults. Now, when we look at Muhammad, a comparison, Muhammad was born some 600 years after Jesus in Mecca. Before his birth, his father died. See, he was a posthumous child, a child that is born after the death of his father. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam happens to be the most historical of all religious personality according to Encyclopedia Britannica. No doubt whatsoever about him that Muhammad could be a fairy tale. Most historical, solid down-to-earth figure. History starts with him. The change of the Arab nation starts with him. The whole Arab world becomes known to the world for the first time in the history since the creation of the world. Since the creation of the world, the Arabs were an unknown people. Nobody was interested in that human rubbish. Nobody. Alexander the Great passed them by. The Phoenicians, the Persians passed them by. The Egyptians passed them by. Nobody was interested in that human rubbish. Nobody. It was after Muhammad that all of a sudden they become known, and they become masters of the known world through the blessings of Islam. Before that, unknown. Muhammad is the most historical of all religious personalities. The mission of these two respective messengers of God, Jesus Christ, according to the scriptures, opened his mouth at the age of 30, and by the time it was 33, 3 years' time, they say that the Jews hanged him on the cross, did away with him as a false prophet, as an impostor, as a liar, as a cheat. They hung him on the cross, 3 years. The Prophet of Islam opens his mouth at the behest of God at the age of 40, and for the next 23 years of his life, he reformed his people. 23 years. His mission is 23 years, Jesus was 3 years. And the records left behind through the lips of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Bari Ta'ala gave this book. Muhammad left this record behind, the Holy Quran. A complete record. Everything that the Muslim ought to know, his duties and obligations, are all given in this book. You don't have to fumble for knowledge, for directions. It's all given to us. In the case of Jesus, Jesus himself, he did not write a word in his lifetime, not one word. In his lifetime, nor did he dictate to anyone to write a word. And nor was a word written, not one. What we have today is a record, long after him, written down by persons called Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Peter, James,